Primals, I'm making this video to apologize.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm not gonna lie, the Liver King just made an apology video, and it's not a bad apology. He doesn't try to say that it's someone else's fault. He 100% confesses. So we're gonna go through that apology video today, and we're gonna go through it and check it out. And I'm glad he did not use a dog or a cat or any kind of animal or make a big at the beginning of his apology. So this is probably going to be an S-tier YouTube apology video.
Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people.
Within the first 30 seconds to a minute, he comes out and says, I lied. Straight up. Doesn't try to sugarcoat it, doesn't make a big long example of talking about everything. He just says, listen, I fucked up, I lied, I'm embarrassed, and now he's going to go into more detail. That's pretty good.
I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye. It's been tricky as fuck to navigate.
I could kind of see where he's coming from, saying that, he was rich and everything, and then he decided to become the Liver King and do a public persona. And then sometimes the bigger you get, actually I want to say sometimes, I'd say all the time, the bigger you get, the more you're under a microscope. And you got to realize that sometimes what you do is going to be analyzed to the extreme, like even better than detectives do solving a murder. So you're going to be put under the damn microscope as soon as you become rich and famous and popular. I mean, in my opinion.
Well, clearly I did it wrong. And I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids. And yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician. Liver King, the public figure, was an experiment to spread the message, to bring awareness to the 4,000 people a day who kill themselves. The 80,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. Our people are hurting at record rates with depression, autoimmune, anxiety, infertility, low ambition in life.
This is one part I'm probably going to disagree in the apology video, because now we're trying to use other people's suffering for a reason for what you did. You probably started your company under good intentions, trying to stop people from killing themselves and all this other stuff. But I don't think this whole part of the segment needed to be brought into your apology video. And that's just my opinion. I think that part was trying to feed off of, well, I did it because of these people that are suffering. So that's one thing I'm going to be critical about in this apology, is that part right there.
Our young men are hurting the most, feeling lost, weak, and submissive. So I made it my job to model, teach, and preach a simple, elegant solution called ancestral living, the 9 ancestral tenets, so our people no longer have to suffer, so we can collectively express our highest and most dominant form. This is my fight. This is why I exist.
I do believe 100% that he did make this company to help people with issues of low self-esteem and people who don't feel right and have hormonal balances. Now, his little tenant thing that he does, it's actually not a bad thing. It's just, eat, make sure you get enough food, make sure you get enough sleep, make sure you disconnect from the internet every once in a while and you go outside and touch some grass. It's actually some really good stuff you can do. So I do believe that he made this program with all intentions to help people.
While spreading the message, I've been on several podcasts, and when asked if I've ever taken steroids, I've always said no, I don't touch this stuff, not gonna touch this stuff, never touch this stuff. That was a lie.
That's the main reason a lot of people were criticizing the Liver King, is because he did go on podcast and did say, I've never done steroids in my life, and I've never touched them, and I never will. That's the main reason he's making this video, because he has to say something because he's lied so many times. There's like a 16-minute compilation out on YouTube of him going on these podcasts. And you just got to be honest every now and then, you know?
I've convinced myself that this had nothing to do with the ancestral message. I convinced myself that I'm not a competitive athlete of any kind, so who the fuck am I cheating? I convinced myself that this topic was a placeholder for a far more important conversation. I convinced myself that this would overshadow the 36 years of working out, usually twice a day, without PEDs.
Now, I do believe that he probably did spend a lot of time in the gym for most of his life working out, but not getting to where he is right now physically looking. And that's why he needed it. I've already seen this apology later in the video. You'll see him talk about why he started using the steroids. But normally when you work out normally, you're not going to look like him, but you will be toned and you will have some muscle definition. But it all depends on your genes if you're going to be completely yoked.
I've convinced myself that this was the vocal minority, usually in the fitness category, driving to an unproductive conversation. And I had convinced myself that this would be the wrong message to send to the 15-year-old boys. So I continually dismissed it, and I dug myself into a bigger and deeper hole.
It actually makes sense that the fitness community would be so against this because they know that it's kind of unnatural to look that flippin' yoked out, like completely jacked and ripped. Like what Chris Hemsworth looks like in Thor, that's not, how you're going to be. You will have some, but I could understand why the fitness community was so against this.
I have only myself to blame. I did that. And it was all wrong. I will be better. I will talk about it openly, because I believe that there's a time and a place for pharmacological intervention monitored and managed by a trained hormone physician. In 2021, when I was 43 years old, I didn't feel 100% physically or cognitively. So I went to get monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician to see what the fuck was going on with my life.
So to be honest, it sounds like when he turned 41 in 2021, after COVID and stuff, and during the pandemic, he probably didn't get a lot to go to the gym and didn't get to feel socially connected, and his levels probably just dropped being mid-age. In your older age, you don't get as much hormones as you need. So he went to the doctor saying, hey, what's wrong, man? I don't feel right in my head. My body's not looking how I want it to look. What can you do? And they probably suggested a bunch of different things, which later in this video he says he's tried this, he's tried that, he's tried this. And now he's found a program that he does like. And he says all the time that it was under the doctor's supervision, that he's had a doctor, which is a good thing. He wasn't just injecting a needle into his butt in the locker room.
And so yes, it's true. I have tried several peptide combinations in an effort to increase my growth hormone, and it didn't work, meaning that my levels still remained below the normal level. So yes, it's also true that I've tried pharmaceutical grade growth hormone, and I finally found success in managing therapeutic levels in the normal range. Yes, this is true. I've continued on with 0.6 cc's of testosterone per week, roughly 120 milligrams of testosterone a week. And no, I don't take any other steroids like nandrolone or Winstrol, but I have tried them in the past without success.
So 100%, he does confess that he does use steroids still to this day. I don't know if it's 100% true that he did start only last year, but what I'm hearing that he still to this day is doing a bunch of testosterone, which does mean, he's still being I think that's way too much still for the normal person. But I'm not a doctor. I have no idea. It could be 100% in the normal levels of people with low T or something like that. But I have no idea. I'm not a doctor.
Yes, it's also true that my blood chemistry got all fucked up while taking nandrolone and Winstrol. My lipids got all deranged. My liver enzymes went sky high, which is why clinical oversight is an absolute must.
This was a very important part of the apology because he does say because he has done these steroids and these injections and these hormones that his life is now ruined. Well, not ruined in the sense that he's going to be completely messed over, but the fact now that, like you said, his blood enzymes are all whack, his liver is, failing. So he caused permanent damage doing this. So it's a good thing he was going to a doctor. Otherwise, people die from this stuff, because of their low self-esteem, because they don't feel like they're looking 100% like they want to look.
Nope. The Liver King brand has had nothing, or at least very little, to do with my business success. My companies were already kicking ass, already successful before the Liver King public figure, growing at 50% year over year and still growing at the same pace after the Liver King public figure.
I don't 100% feel like this part should have been added to. He's just bragging again that his companies were kicking ass, and I don't doubt that he's making what he says $100 million a year with his 9 companies. So I do believe that he has been rich for a very long time. But again, doesn't need to be said in this part, in my opinion.
Nope. I've never had ab implants, ab etching, or any other plastic surgery, and I sure as fuck never actually had gene editing done in Singapore. I made all of that up. It was all intended to be a joke, and that's an expression of ancestral Tenant 10. Have a little goddamn fun. Ultimately, why do I do them?
A Tenant 10? I thought there was only 9 tenants, but that's beyond the point. Now, the abs stuff and the implants and the plastic surgery, that was always like a conspiracy theory. So I could kind of see, why people would think that, because he doesn't look like natural, but that's because of all of the chemicals in his body flowing through his veins that are bulging 24/7.
When I talk about the 85% of the population that suffers from self-esteem issues, that's me. I'm part of that statistic. This is why I fucking work myself to death in the gym. This is why I do 12 to 15 blood-burning workouts a week, just to feel like I'm okay. Still, I have to absolutely crush myself to do so, and I'm wrecked physically and cognitively, and hormone replacement has helped in a profound and significant way. And still, I believe that the path to paradise is paved in fucking hell.
This is a key part of what I think everybody turns to: plastic surgery, to steroids, to other things, putting a tapeworm in their stomach because they want to look thinner. He had body dysmorphia. He had low self-esteem. He thought, no matter how hard he tried, he did not look like this jacked, yoked figure that he wanted to be like. And that's 85% of the people, I can lose a few pounds, but I'm not going to starve myself, if I can't get there by myself, I'm not one of those people. Just because I have low self-esteem doesn't mean I'm going to turn to what I need to turn to.
I previously have said in a weird way, I'm grateful for the recent events that have shed light on this complicated as fuck topic. I knew I needed to take this opportunity to openly discuss everything for me to be a better human. If there are any questions that remain unanswered, send them my way. I fully own that I fucked up. I am as sorry as a man can be. And all I can do is take extreme ownership right now, be better, and lead myself to a better life as a better human. Again, thank you to everyone for the support, the criticism, the love, the hate, and above all else, the loyalty.
No surprise there. I actually think he did a hell of a good job during this apology. And Liver King's always said, he likes when people talk about him, either good or bad, because he believes all publicity is good publicity. So, straight up, most people, when they get called out in a big lie, like Panda Cup, they just hide in the shadows and don't say shit about it. But he came out and said, you know what? It's true. And I'm kind of glad that it came out so I could tell people the truth now. And, yeah, I have to say, I was pretty impressed. He did a really good apology. Other people are probably going to say that it's fake or he's lying, but that's up for interpretation. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this apology was 100% sincere? He's going to continue to keep crushing it and keep doing testosterone, or do you think he was just talking out his liver? That was a stupid joke, but if you like the video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether it's pro Liver King, anti Liver King. Just let me know what you guys think. Have a good day. This is Andrew, signing off.